Today we got today we got how Naruto's potential was wasted. Hey man, Naruto seemed like a good, pretty strong uh character to me. But if you do agree with that, go ahead like the video. Make sure to like the video. With that being said, let's get into it.
As a franchise is one of the most popular anime in the history of, well, anime. It isn't your typical shonen that comes and goes. I'd argue that Naruto is somewhat timeless in its effect and popularity, but it's also due to that popularity why Naruto's character didn't evolve in the way that he could have. And just to clarify, this isn't about Naruto's development as it pertains to his ideology or personal beliefs. This is more so about what the character was able to accomplish as it pertains to his abilities.
Cause people called me a failure! I'll prove them wrong!
You see, shonen main characters suffer from a certain trope, which forces them to use a certain move ad nauseum. They might be allowed to deviate from that track from time to time, but it all goes back to that signature move over and over again. Whether it's Luffy's Gum Gum Pistol, Ichigo's Getsuga Tensho, or Naruto's Rasengan. Some of these abilities even become motifs in
Bro learned the Rasengan and the Shadow Clones, and he was just spamming them. I know that's like his signature move, but he was just spamming them. It would have been nice. Uh, hey, thank you for liking the live. But it would have been nice for him to learn like another skill that he didn't use as often, but he could just pull out of his bag whenever the Shadow Clones weren't working. Like that would have been tough.
a sense, with a deep symbolic meaning behind it. For example, Naruto's Shadow Clone Jutsu, which Sasuke said is a symbol of his weakness. It's a jutsu that covers up his loneliness. Now of course, one could simply chalk this up to a bit of banter from Sasuke, but given Naruto's reaction, there might be a bit of truth to it. Kishimoto simply used Sasuke as a vehicle to plant that seed in the mind of the audience, which would then retroactively change how one views Naruto's repeated usage of the Shadow Clone Jutsu. This is one way in which a deeper meaning can be attributed to a character's repeated usage of a certain ability, but that isn't the case most of the time. Take Naruto's Rasengan for example. There isn't any deep symbolic meaning behind it or why he uses it. He simply learned the ability because he wanted something similar to Sasuke's Chidori, and later formed the Rasen Shuriken because he wanted something stronger to take on Sasuke. You could say there's some thematic value to the Rasen.
And Kakashi knowing 1,000 jutsus but only using Kamui and Chidori. I'm telling you, like he used Kamui, but that took too much out of him most of the time, so he didn't use it like that. And I'm telling you, the most used jutsus he did: Chidori, Substitution Jutsu, Mud Wall. Like, bro, I know like you use the strongest jutsus to win the match or whatever, win whoever you fighting against. But it's like, bro, come on. I wanted to see those other jutsus. Like, yeah, he can use water style. He was copying Zabuza. But like Kakashi, bro, as smart as you are, I know you got another trick up your sleeve. Come on, like he good at taijutsu, but I want to see something else.
Shuriken as it pertains to Minato not being able to complete it. But that wasn't really what drove Naruto to do it, that was more so a side achievement. So Naruto's usage of the Rasengan, unlike the Shadow Clone Jutsu, was more superficial. They needed something flashy and recognizable, something that people would remember and subconsciously assign to the identity of the character itself. In truth, that is actually the reason behind this trope of characters spamming the same ability over and over again. It's psychology. Humans recognize patterns and are more drawn to things they know. It's
Nah, that's facts. That's facts. That's why people will watch somebody, like they'll watch anything somebody posts just because they familiar with that person. They like that. Like they like that person. A person could watch paint dry and they wouldn't watch that video normally, but since it's somebody they like watching it and somebody they used to watching it, they'll watch it with them. Um, the other thing is that do make sense. Like everybody got their signature move. Kakashi, Chidori, Sasuke, Chidori, Itachi, Genjutsu, just overall. Um, So like everybody, like when you think of Rasengan, we not thinking of Kanahamaru, and we not thinking of Jiraiya or Boruto. We thinking of Naruto.
Easy for them to understand. This of course makes the character more marketable and lends to its popularity. I mean, a random guy went viral and gained international attention simply because he did the Naruto run in front of a news camera. That is a byproduct of Naruto's popularity and the many signature moves he was able to produce, but there's also a downside to that fame as well. You see, this want or need to build a sense of familiarity or simplicity for shonen main characters often limits the characters as well. They don't get the chance to be creative or diverse for the most part, and would instead gain a stronger version of the ability they were initially given. And in some cases, this makes sense. Take Asta for example, he doesn't have the ability to use magic, which is literally the power system of his universe. It makes sense why he's somewhat limited in what he's able to do. But in Naruto's
Are you a Roblox fanatic? Microsoft Rewards has a brand new way for you to earn digital gift
case, it's a bit more arbitrary. For example, Naruto's moveset could have and should have been way more extensive than it was, and that's because Naruto is a literal walk-in cheat code. You see, Naruto has an ability called the Shadow Clone Jutsu. This ability pretty much creates a copy of the user that has substance, to the point of possessing bones, blood, and even equivalent chakra to the original. The clones are also equal in strength to Naruto himself, and just as fast as well, since they
That's would you say that a shadow clone is equal in strength to whoever cast it? I would say no. I see what he mean though. I see like they can do the same thing he can, but they're not equal in strength.
retain the physical stats of the original. That in and of itself makes this jutsu beyond broken, but there's also something else built into it that makes it even crazier. You see, back in chapter 319, while trying to master wind chakra, Kakashi suggested creating more shadow clones to speed up the process. That's because
Okay, I think I know where the video's finna go, so I'm finna steal the point it's finna make because I agree with it. Basically, it's like let's say Naruto learned how to like let's say he learned any other I don't know, but like any other wind style jutsu, he could have perfected it by using the same strategy he did to learn the Rasen and Shuriken. Like let's say he did wind style something something, right? He could just do the same. He could just spam shadow clones to learn how to do it, and he'll learn it faster. He could have learned all the or um most of the leaf village most of the leaf villages jutsu. On top of that, he is Uzumaki. The fact that he didn't even learn one Sealing Jutsu is crazy.
the Shadow Clone Jutsu also have a function which allows them to send a current experience back to the caster. So if Naruto and his clones perform the same training exercise for the same amount of time, that would reduce his training time proportional to the amount of clones he created. That means one clone would halve the training time and two clones would only take a third of the time, etc, etc. That is why Naruto was able to apply his wind nature to the Rasengan in just a few days, when Minato wasn't able to do it after trying for years. The same Minato who's considered a super genius and one of the true prodigies in the series, who created the Rasengan itself. Yet his son, who's considered to be a dunce, mastered something he wasn't able to. Why is that? Well, as I pointed out, Naruto is a walking cheat code, a machine primed to acquire any technique. And this isn't just due to the rush to reduce training times, but also due to Naruto's immense power. As pointed out by Kakashi, he himself isn't able to exploit shadow training like Naruto does. While he can use shadow just like Naruto, he isn't able to maintain them long enough because he simply doesn't have what Naruto does. He doesn't have a lot of chakra. So not only does he not have the amount of chakra needed to create the amount of clones Naruto does, he wouldn't be able to maintain them even if he did. His clones need constant stream chakra to remain active. So Kakashi, 98% of characters in this, would never be able to take advantage of this method like Naruto could, which is why he can so
Man, they should have, bro. And then on top of the fact that Naruto can use all these clones to lower his training time down. What did he do when he was with Jiraiya? Jiraiya was like a father figure. Yeah, cool. He taught him, or he taught him the Rasengan, and like he did mature while with Jiraiya. But like, why didn't he learn any of the techniques that Jiraiya knows how to do? If Naruto could do the swamp jutsu, or the I don't know if Naruto can do fire style because his wind chakra is his chakra nature is wind. But like Jiraiya bag is so deep. Why didn't Naruto learn any of that stuff? And yeah, he learned Sage Mode, but I think that was after the fact. And Jiraiya didn't teach him that. So
That is why it was so surprising to me that after learning the Rasen Shuriken using this training method, he never does it again. I kid you not, Naruto never again uses this overpowered training method that allows him to learn abilities in 1/100th of the time it would take anyone else to learn it. We went through the entire story from the moment he created Rasen Shuriken without Naruto ever doing this again, while Sasuke on the other hand was going around collecting abilities like Pokemon. And as I said, I totally understand the argument from a marketability and simplicity standpoint, and wanting to not make your main character too powerful. All of those things are very good points to varying extent, to be honest, but it has to also make sense in universe as well.
also, but what we could have did instead of him learning, let's just say Naruto learned how to do Chidori, right? Rasengan and Chidori is overpowered, but if he learned a smaller jutsu like the Shadow Clone Shuriken Jutsu, or Wind Style Wind Scythe, or something like that, that would make him more versatile. He just spams Shadow Clones. He spams Shadow Clones, beats you up, taught no Jutsu. If that don't work, Rasengan. I don't know where it's gonna come from, but a Rasengan is gonna come out of nowhere, and then boom, Naruto wins the fight. But he should have learned more stuff so he could have more things to go to in his bag. Bro do the same two crossovers, get to the rim, and if he miss, he just do it again. He just bully his way to the paint and hope he scored.
Well, this is not a case where the character simply isn't able to learn new abilities based on some established mechanic. Naruto is able to learn any jutsu in this universe once it isn't a Keke Genkai, Keke Tota, or Keke Mora. I mean, you expect me to believe that Naruto wouldn't be able to learn FTG, Flying Thunder God, even though he learned the Rasengan faster than Minato did and was able to apply his nature element to it while Minato couldn't after trying for many years. It is obviously the case that adding his nature element to the Rasengan was way more difficult than using Flying Thunder God, so why would Naruto fail at using FTG when he completed something even more difficult?
Well, see, but that's the thing. Who is going to teach him Flying Thunder God? Gemma? Like, the thing is, though, how would he be able to do that? Yeah, he got Shadow Clones, but I think Minato taught those three shinobi how to do it, and the fact that they could only do it together because he didn't trust them. He didn't trust just handing over a jutsu so strong. So he made it to where it had a condition. Minato can do it by himself. He don't need a marker. So no, he
Does
do need to mark where he's at, but he don't need two other people.
it make sense? And look, to some extent, you could explain why Naruto never learned FTG after the pain arc, since there wasn't anyone there to teach him. Minato and Tobirama were both deceased and he didn't have any connection to Minato's minions who also knew the jutsu. It is even possible that he wasn't aware of the fact that they knew the formula, but that argument becomes a bit flimsy after he literally saw them use it in the war to teleport the Mitsukage. And
Bro, but okay, look though. Naruto hasn't even tried to learn none of his mom's jutsu. Why would he try to learn that one? And he's seen that it needs 3 people. So what he gonna do? Get 3 shadow clones, make three shadow clones hold hands and then surround him. I don't know.
Some will argue that, well, kiddo, FTG isn't the only teleportation jutsu, so maybe Naruto thought it was something else. And to that I say it doesn't matter whether it's FTG or instant transmission. He now knows that they possess a jutsu that can help him teleport to different locations. This of course is way more important in the context of the story post Shippuden, since these guys now know of other dimensions and time spaces. In fact, during the Boruto section of the story, they are actively anticipating the arrival of threats greater than Kaguya based on information found in the scroll. That is why Sasuke is actively traveling across Kaguya's dimensions to gather information and prepare for the incoming threat. Then you get to Naruto, and what exactly is he doing?
No hunting for Wi-Fi, no hassling with local SIM cards. 5 continents, countless countries, it works everywhere I go.
Absolutely nothing. I mean,
The show focused so much on him being an orphan that they didn't drive it. I don't know about his family background. It's like they already didn't tell him who his dad was until later in the show. But he didn't ask no questions like, well, how good was my parents? Like, were they ninja? That would have been one of the first questions I would have asked. He didn't ask no questions. And then another thing is, bro, knew that these people, these extremely powerful people, are coming from, you know, how when kids been adopted and they wonder where their birth. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, I don't know. It don't make any sense. Where my real parents at? Why they didn't want me? What were they like? Like, kids ask them type of questions. But another thing is, he knew these powerful people was coming, and he still, like, he didn't do no training. He didn't do no, like, he didn't expand his back at all. Like, bro, what are you doing? What were you doing?
he's running the village, of course, but he isn't doing anything at all to prepare himself for battle. To the point that Kurama calls him rusty because he hasn't been doing anything for the past few years. And this, by the way, isn't a phantom critique. The story itself acknowledges that Naruto isn't properly balancing his duties as the Hokage to his family and to his own body, which of course is a very human thing to do. But that doesn't change the fact that this is Naruto wasting his potential, which is the title of the video. The same way you would say that to anyone else that you know have a higher peak than what they're currently reaching. You think that after the war he would have had Genma, which is the guy that knows how to use FTG, teach him FTG in preparation for the otherworldly threats that can trap him in other dimensions. I mean, the guy was right there at Kakashi's inauguration, so you had access to weapons to Sasuke from it. I don't know, a jutsu that allows you to place an object.
Like, mind you, Boruto's back is so deep. Despite everything he done went through since the omnipotence happened, his bag is so deep. But when your life is constantly in danger, and I'll go as far as to say is, his life is way more in danger than Naruto's was. But yeah, he got purple lightning, Rasengan Uzahiko, FTG. He can do lightning style in general, water style. Like, come on, bro. His bag is deep, and it's more stuff that I can't remember. But like, bro, he trained, and yes, Sasuke was his teacher. But Sasuke can't do flying Rasen. When you even learn that? How do you even learn that? So now I'm thinking about it. Naruto ain't have no excuse, bro. Naruto didn't have any excuse. And then when Naruto's life was in danger, why they not training him to be like, to make his bag deep as possible? He could have worked with Might God for better taijutsu to like open up the fourth gate or something. He could have worked with Kurenai. Like, he could have did something. Worked with Tsunade or somebody else. Jiraiya could have taught him more stuff than he did. Like, I don't know.
Or in Sasuke himself, which would allow him to teleport to him anywhere he is in the universe, would come in handy, I guess. You'd also think that after Jigen left him in that dimension and Sasuke turned up just in time to save him, he would have thought that, maybe I need a teleportation jutsu of my own so I'm not placed in this position again. And by the way, they were placed in that position again after Momoshiki destroyed Sasuke's Rinnegan, so there you go. Mind you, Naruto as the Hokage has access to all the jutsus in the entire village, even the forbidden ones, and never attempts to learn a single one of them. He didn't learn to open the 8 gates, which I assume would be 100 times easier with his Shadow Clone cheat code, which is crazy since he was able to contend with Jubidara. Just imagine Naruto stacking 8 gates onto his
Like, he don't even have to stack up 8. I think 8 is too insane. He had Kurama but stacking 8 gates, I think that's too far. But let's say he just opened the 6th or the 7th one. Like, bro, he could tap into that. Like, they wouldn't expect a 7th gate Naruto plus Sage Mode plus a Rasengan. Like, think about how much stronger that makes him. And it's like, well, you can't say, well, he gonna be too strong. Bro, look at the people that's coming to his world trying to destroy it. He would be able to contend with Jigen and Momoshiki and all them if he had not an 8th gate, because he gonna die, but like a 7th gate. If he could open the 7th for the 6th one, that'll give him more versatility.
Distinct power. This guy would have been a beast. But no, of course, he didn't care to do it, just like how he didn't care to learn FTG or any sealing techniques despite knowing that some of these aliens might need to be sealed away. He would much rather go into battle unprepared, throwing Rasengans and punches, even when they're clearly not working. That is precisely what happened when Ishiki arrived in the village, by the way. All they had were hopes and wishes. No emergency techniques or sealing jutsu they've been working on this entire time for this exact situation, despite knowing that other threats greater than Kage were heading towards the planet. They did nothing to prepare for this. Kishimoto and Ikimoto really had my goat stepping out there in his prime, with his only improvement being a bigger Rasengan. In any of his techniques in his years leading up to being the Hokage afterwards, he didn't master any chakra natures, didn't type of Rasengan.
And then apparently, I don't even know if that's true or not. I think somebody said, I think I looked up can Naruto use fire style, and they said yeah. We finna look it up real quick. See, this is what I'm saying. Even the internet is saying if Naruto learns how to use it, he can, but he just don't.
Didn't add BBLs to the sexy jutsu, like bro did literally nothing. In fact, going into his prime, Naruto lost abilities instead. He no longer has TSO, True Seeking Orbs, which literally has the ability to use every chakra nature, including the special ones such as Explosion Release and Dust Release, which erases anything it touches. He also doesn't use Boil Release anymore, which boosted his stats to the point that he could easily overpower Kage at full strike. He doesn't have the ability to levitate, can't restore organs or life anymore since he lost the Yang Seal. Like bro literally got debuffed in terms of abilities but got a boost in physical instead. There's also the issue of having Hashirama Cells, which is the hand that is in bandages. Naruto's character in his own story, the history of the franchise that was compatible with Hashirama Cells.
Tails inside of him, but he wouldn't use it on himself, so that's kind of not a strong argument. But it's like Naruto, bro. You literally, like, I didn't even think about this. He has access to all the jutsus in the village, and he didn't learn none of them. Like, he didn't learn any more of them. Learn fire style, learn water. Like, can you do every chakra nature? Try to, bro. Like, yeah, you the Hokage, but you can literally have shadow clones train while you at work. Bro, I would have been spamming shadow clones. Bro, shadow clones, people will use shadow clones in real life because they're busy. And he's busy and he doesn't use them. He only used them to send them to the house to celebrate his daughter's birthday. The real me would be at home all the time. My shadow clones would be at work. I have them training every day. I have them at work, and I'd be at the crib. Bro, you got 2 kids, you barely see them. You got a wife, you barely see her. Come on, dude.
From it, and to that I say you might be correct, but it doesn't change the fact that they made it that way, which again goes to my argument about his wasted potential. Now, I want to be fair and say that Naruto learned the error of his ways and started training again after the Momoshiki attack, which almost destroyed the village. He doesn't actually train himself, he's more so trying to get the people around him to be stronger. So this again doesn't address the issue of him wasting his potential by not using the cheat code Kakashi taught him years prior. And the saddest thing about it is that he doesn't have that cheat code anymore. Yes, after losing Kurama, Naruto no longer has the ability to make use of this mechanic like he once did. That is because he doesn't have the chakra quantity that he once possessed.
I'm thinking about something. Naruto still has a lot of chakra though, so I think he still could do it, just to not the same extent. And I want to see how Naruto does. Like, how good is he without Kurama? You know.
All this in my video about how strong Naruto currently is without Kurama, so you guys can go watch that one after this one. But the main point is that Naruto's boosted stamina, which is responsible for the production of chakra,
Chewy has savory favorites, a gravy masterpiece, delicious options from Fancy Feast.
came from Kurama. His immense chakra pool was also a thing because the seal allowed the Nine-Tails chakra to leak out into his own chakra pool. This was outright stated by the Toad Sages and Naruto himself. This wasn't because of his Uzumaki blood, and this was again confirmed in chapter 670, with Hagoromo stating that Naruto didn't inherit any of his parents' natural abilities. You can see that in the fact that he couldn't handle the full Nine-Tails, which is why Minato took half of it with him to death. You can also see it in the fact that Naruto immediately went comatose when the Nine-Tails was extracted, while Kushina was totally fine and strong enough to run and even hold down the Nine-Tails. This of course makes sense since Kushina is a pure-blooded Uzumaki while Naruto is a half-breed, thus the blonde hair, and half-breeds don't inherit the trait of the bloodline. That's also really knock him for not really being a sealed Jutsu pro, which is what the Uzumaki are known for because he simply didn't inherit that proficiency. Ironically,
but he didn't try to either, so we can't even say he wouldn't have been able to do it. We can't say he can't do it because he never tried. But it's a chance that even if he did try, he wouldn't have been able to.
Half-blood is also another way in which his potential was wasted, but Minato being his father is also cool, so who cares? The main point is that he doesn't have the massive chakra reserves he once had, which means he can't produce the amount of shadow clones he once did, nor can he maintain them as long as he did. Now Naruto does have enough chakra to enter Sage mode similar to Minato and Jiraiya, which means his chakra amount is at least above average, but it isn't anywhere close to what it was when he had Kurama. Put it this way, it's like when you have a cup that is empty. Let's say this is where the chakra is kept when it's produced. Naruto would pour his own chakra into that cup, which is produced by stamina. The Nine-Tails chakra would also leak into that cup and merge with Naruto's chakra, greatly expanding the amount of chakra he possesses. When Naruto then expounds chakra to use a jutsu or power his techniques, both the chakra that he produced and the chakra that leaked from the Nine-Tails into his chakra pool gets consumed. This is why he runs out of chakra, and this process needs to happen again. The problem now, of course, is that Naruto no longer has the Nine-Tails to leak more chakra into his chakra pool, which means all he has is the amount of chakra he's able to produce. That is why Sakura says in the anime that he doesn't have superhuman chakra anymore, and he can't use jutsu like he used to. This would simply mean Naruto really can't take advantage of shadow clone.
Okay, so I think to combat that, he need to go link up with Sakura and learn that jutsu to expand his chakra pools, so he can be as close as he was before as possible. he gonna sound like Kakashi. Oh my gosh, my chakra, my chakra. But yeah, he needs to go link up with Sakura and try to expand them chakra pools. And yeah, cause he sound washed now. He sound washed.
Technique like he could have in the past. He can likely still create multiple shadow clones to reduce his training time, but not anywhere near to the extent that he once could. Like, I want you guys to understand that the training method was so effective that he mastered something that it normally takes someone over a decade to grasp in just 2 days. And this was without the full cooperation of the Nine Tails. Just imagine if Hokage Naruto with both halves of Kurama spawned like 4,000 clones and went to work. This man would be unbeatable. But alas, Kishimoto just disregarded this overpowered training method, which is just unfortunate. That's it.
Hey man, that's the video. If you like the video,